All right, guys, good morning. Welcome. This is Top Tier Talk for November 22nd. On is a flying. This is Thanksgiving week, obviously. So, I'm going to talk. We'll talk about a couple of things here, but as far as advertising is concerned, you could probably place ads today, but I'm not sure that I would place. John, what do you think about that? Placing ads? Well, actually.
I would today. It's only Monday, but I wouldn't do anything on Wednesday or Thursday, obviously.
Yeah, maybe today and tomorrow, and then make sure if you're using the appointment. Well, nobody's going to book an appointment with you on Thanksgiving anyway, so you probably don't have to block the day. But for a lot of people, thankfully, I've never had to work the Friday after. But for a lot of people, the Friday after Thanksgiving is a normal work day and always has been. So
yeah, you could take an ad out on Friday for the weekend,
Yeah, oh, no doubt.
I took a couple out last night.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll take a couple out today. Yeah, just a couple of things to talk about here. Just to recap, we had our live webinar last Wednesday. If you saw the attendee report, not great, and the registrations, not great. I just don't get why people don't at least get registrations. You can't control people showing up. I mean, you can't control anything really, but if you send out enough invites, if you send out your 3 invitations, somebody's going to register, right? Assuming you have leads. If you've been here even a couple of months, you should have a couple hundred leads, and a couple people, at least one person is going to register. So not seeing any registrations from people just makes me. I don't really understand it, to be honest. It's possible that people don't have enough leads because they're not doing the consistent advertising. It's certainly possible. But, if your expectation is to make money here, then, one of the biggest resources we offer is that live webinar. And enough said about that. Moving to the second point, new member orientation video. I just want to show you where it is because I get new members asking questions that is covered in this video. So it's the first thing people are supposed to do, but when you're a new member, I don't think they're doing it. Right at the fast start, right? So the first thing you tell people is go to the fast start, you gotta set up your business, I'll help you do it. And then right up here at the top is the new rep orientation video. I tell people, watch this video. Right? I don't even know how long it is. 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes. And it's going to walk them through, everything. It's going to explain both of the sites, kind of show where things are, show how to access your products and all of that stuff, show the calendar, show that you should get on Skype and get into the Skype room. And, that's kind of how I can tell that people aren't watching it because they're not on Skype or whatever. And, but anyway, if you're new and you haven't watched this video yet, I recommend you watch it. Okay. Some things might look a little bit different nowadays. I don't know when I recorded this, but, some things might look a little bit different, but it gets the point across. All right. What was the other thing? Oh, new member sign up flow. Yeah. I wanted to, I'll put it in present mode for this. Yeah, I wanted to kind of walk you through this when you're signing up a new person. Okay. Because here's the sign up form, right? And in the past, when somebody completed this form, they got redirected right to the login page. Just the plain enter your email and password or whatever, which isn't terrible. But what I did was I set it up to go to this. Okay, so this is what they're going to see. It's a little bit more, I don't know, a little more welcoming, I guess. It says your sponsor's going to work with you to help you. Now your next step is to register for the training site and start your admin fee subscription, because that seems to be something that kind of stalls people sometimes for whatever reason. So now when they click this is going to happen all automatically, so it's not such a kind of a choppy sign-up process. They're going to go right to this registration page, right? And they're going to do this, and they're going to go to PayPal and take care of their subscription. And then they're going to get redirected to this page that's going to tell them that they got to send that email from PayPal to their sponsor, okay? And I added, don't send a screenshot or anything else. Just forward that email, because it's amazing what we get. So hopefully that's clear enough. And you'll know as a sponsor, like if you get anything other than that email from PayPal, that email receipt, tell your new member that they have to forward that email. Don't send it to admin, because we're just going to kick it back. All right. So that's the skinny there. So yeah, any questions? What do you think, John? I didn't really tell you about this. Hello? Am I still here? Hello, hello?
Yeah, I had my thing muted. Sorry. You hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, I think that's, no, I didn't know about this. That's great to click here to go to the registration. Now I don't have to send that separately.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So just tell them in your welcome email or however you do it, go
Right.
to the sign up form and then, do that. So it kind of all gets taken care of. And if we find out that it doesn't work that great, we can always change it. But we'll see. I just wanted to let everybody know that is what it's going to be. Oh, another thing I meant to mention, talking about the webinar, is I know I send out, that we record the webinars and you should send out your replay link to people. I just wanted to make sure you guys know what the replay link is. Okay, it's page 80. Right? And this page always has the most recent live webinar replay. So it's different than the recording, the static recording that's on page 74. And that's the, I still have you in my cache, John. I haven't cleared my cache out. So that's what we mean by that, right? And you would have set up your replay link in
the fast start.
Step 2 of the fast start, when either you did the forwarding or your sponsor did the forwarding for you. Okay, they should have created a replay link, which is just the word replay in front of your domain. So whatever your domain is, so it's replay dot whatever your domain is .com. And that's what all these different subdomains are.
Yeah, it might be good to explain, when some people don't understand domain and subdomain. Domain is the name of your business that you purchased by doing a search on GoDaddy. So if it's Big Checks Now, that's your domain. And the subdomains are the prefixes that we are advising you to put in front of that. So you've got a live webinar, or it could just be webinar, it could be tour, it could be replay, it could be register, whatever you and or your sponsor, or if you follow the advice here, followed by a dot and then your business name, which is your domain. So you should have several subdomains attached to your regular domain that you and your sponsor should discuss, so you know when to use those subdomains.
Yeah, I mean, the thinking behind it, when I first got started in this crazy online business industry, we used to just buy multiple domains, right? So you'd have, your lead capture page would be, sixfiguresolution.com, and then your webinar would be sixfiguresolution.info, and then you'd have sixfiguresolution.biz. You'd buy a bunch of them. And then I learned about subdomains, and they're just, they're free. They're included with your,
Right.
you get 99 subdomains included with your one domain that you purchase. So it's a money saver. That's the biggest thing. But then the second thing is, I don't know, I think it's just logical, right? You don't have to remember, like, oh, what do I have the .info going to again? Or what do I, it's just, if you're, replay.sixfiguresolution.com, for example, that's mine. Well, I know that's the webinar replay, right? And yeah, if you've been here a while longer, you might have different words, and it doesn't matter. It's fine. Use whatever. The point of the word in front of it is so that you know what the heck that page is, and that's the biggest thing. And they're free. Do not use www. You don't have to use www ever, by the way.
Sometimes
they
if
will
you
not.
use it, it won't even work.
Right, they will not work with subdomains. So if you went www.replay.sixfiguresolution.com, that won't work. I don't even know what'll happen, but it won't work. And even with just your domain, www is just an old time thing. You don't have to use that.
Yeah, it meant World Wide Web, if I recall.
Yeah. I think you used to have to use it, back in the day,
Yeah.
but you do not have to do that anymore.
You don't need the HTTP and all that stuff either for these.
Well, I was just going to mention that because, when you send, not if you're putting it in the address bar.
Right.
The address bar kind of automatically does that, I guess.
Right.
But if you're sending a, excuse me for 1 second. If you're sending a link to somebody in an email or a text or something like that, you do have to include the HTTP : // at least I believe you do.
Not really, because sometimes you do,
No?
sometimes you don't. I think it depends on your email thing, because I never do it and it automatically propagates.
Huh. And
But
I always do it.
But on
if I-
Aweber, I have to do it. Aweber, when I put a link, it won't, it'll say invalid link, and I have to use the HTTP or HTTPS.
Right. So you don't think on Gmail? I don't know. I guess test it.
I'll test it again, but I'm pretty sure I never use it and it works.
But I know if somebody Skypes me a link and there's no HTTP : / it doesn't work. So I don't even click it. That needs the hyperlink. Text, I'm pretty sure text needs the HTTP : / too. I'm pretty sure. Send me a text with the link. I'll tell you if it's clickable or not.
You want me to just send you a subdomain?
No, just send me. I'll send it to you instead. How about that?
All right, on Skype?
No, text, phone. This is live TV. Oh, it looks like it did. Okay, so maybe with a text you don't need it.
Yeah, it worked fine. Send me an email.
Let me try a subdomain. Oh, that worked too.
Send me an email.
Huh.
Send me
All
an
right,
email to Gmail, my Gmail. Because I think it works.
Apparently.
If you're just joining, folks, we're trying to check certain domains.
Learn something new every day. All right, I sent it.
Yeah, I haven't got it yet. You sent it to my Gmail?
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, here it is. Hold on, let me open it. Yeah, it works fine.
You can click it?
Yep. It's underlined and clickable. It's an active link.
Not clickable on my end. Maybe that's why I thought. Huh. All right. Well, I guess you don't need to include the HTTP://. I learn something new every day. I still will because I always have, but I guess you don't have to. All right. Anybody have any questions about any of that stuff?
So I know somebody arrived just a while ago. The orientation video and the sign-up flow is what we just went through, and you can rewatch it when the recording's up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the other thing, John and I were just talking yesterday about, you know, who's our ideal prospect, right? Who's the person who's on our list that is our best prospect, our best chance of signing up into this business? Because, you know, no matter where you're advertising, whether you're advertising on Craigslist or whether you're advertising, you know, with postcards or solo ads or, you know, whatever the case is, you know, all these, wherever you advertise, it's still people, right? And some are going to be interested in what we have, and a high percentage will not be. Well, that's just the way it is with high ticket. But, you know, but who's our best prospect? Is our best prospect the person that has a big time corporate job and is making $300,000 a year? No, you know, because they don't have a big why for getting started and earning money with a home-based online business, right?
Yeah, I've had one of those, not to interrupt, but he was making 250 grand a year, but he hated his job really bad and his wife never saw him. So his why was he wanted to come home, and said he'd be happy if he made 10,000 a month, which is only 120 grand a year. So he's willing to take a cut and pay, but he had that specific why, this urgent, and that's one of the key words. It seems like most of the people have to have one of the bucket list items, which is an urgency to either make some money or fire the boss or some kind of urgency. Even if they don't have the money and they come in a year later, they still seem to have an urgency on wanting to look for something else, especially something where they could be at home, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, when I got into this, I was in the mortgage industry and I was very happy doing that, and I wasn't planning on doing anything else. And then the mortgage crisis happened, and then the recession happened back in, you know, it started for me in mid 2006, and, you know, I stuck it out until 2009, but I don't think I closed a loan in 2008 or 2009. So, you know, I didn't make any money for almost 2 years. But I was going to an office and kind of going through the motions and everything like that. And then, so I waited too long. But what happened in that industry, at least, is, you know, my coworkers or colleagues were, you know, taking jobs with banks in, you know, in the mortgage departments that, you know, were making about a third of what we were making at, you know, when we were at our mortgage bank or mortgage brokerage, as opposed to, and I was just, and it was going to be just straight salary. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't think I even can do that and pay my bills, you know? So I still had money in the bank, you know, so I started doing this, you know, with multi-level marketing and affiliate marketing first. And, you know, I just loved it. You know, I wasn't making a lot of money yet, but I was learning. And then I found this business model, you know, because people who I knew in the industry were saying how much money they were making, and it was way better than multi-level marketing and stuff. And it's where all the top earners were. And I'm like, whoa, it costs thousands of dollars to get started. I mean, I was kind of taken aback a little bit, but, you know, I watched a webinar similar to ours, and, you know, I'll admit that I was not a 48-hour fast action taker, but I still got a bonus. But you know, it took me a few weeks to work up the nerve to spend the money. I came in at the $3,500 level, got bumped up to $6,500 at the time, and, you know, haven't looked back. But, you know, so I think that people like me that maybe are commission-based people, so they kind of have an entrepreneurial spirit, even though they may not actually be entrepreneurs. Like, I was always an employee or an independent contractor, 1099. You know, those are a great prospect for us. John's just been entrepreneurial. John, I'll throw it to you.
Well, I kind of quit. I had an early age of 16, had a couple jobs while I was going to school for extra cash. I worked at a donut shop and a car wash, and I hated the idea of working for somebody else and having to report at a certain time and make money. And I was studying music on the side, so I went, you know what? I don't want to work for anybody. So I closed that door at a young age of 16 and a half. So I've always been self-employed, either as a musician or as a teacher or consultant. And when the music biz really crashed out in when I used to live in LA, I was teaching on the side to pick up the slack, teaching piano. But when everything crashed, a friend of mine was telling me about network marketing, which I didn't even know what it meant. And I got in, and that wasn't hard to get in, but it was hard to make money. But I was one of the few that made money. And I kind of liked the idea of being able to get up, work my own hours, make money. And I liked talking to people. And then when I saw this, I went, oh, high ticket version of network marketing. And I don't have to build a downline, and I only have to work when I want to work. So again, I had a little urgency. I like talking to people. And the real big thing that drew me to this was the big commissions. I went, oh, 2 or 3 of these a month, and I'm making some really good money. 2 or 3 of anything to me seems a lot easier than 40 or 50 or 100. So that's what attracted me, the big ticket thing, you know?
Yeah, so I think we only share that to tell you that, you know, we're probably the best prospects, you know. I mean, that kind of background, probably the best prospects. I mean, yeah, I've signed up truck drivers, I've signed up you know, school teachers, you know, so people from all different backgrounds. But what I've found over the years is that the best background is either, you know, somebody who's already an entrepreneur, whether or not they're doing it through network marketing or they're doing it through, you know, a traditional, more traditional brick and mortar, you know, type of, you know, business, and commission-based salespeople like realtors, insurance agents, mortgage brokers, you know, whoever else, car salesmen, home improvement sales, you know, those types of businesses. The one other thing that I think is a big one, and I think this probably fits under the entrepreneurial umbrella though, is like contractors, you know, people that, and they're getting older and they don't want to be doing construction at 55 years old anymore. You know, so I found that that's a good market also. You know, and the key is trying to tap into that market, you know, and we kind of, you know, are fishing in a pond, particularly with Craigslist, of kind of everybody, right? So that there's people that are looking for opportunities, and then there are people that are looking for actual jobs. Although I will tell you, like, if you're really serious about getting like a good job, Craigslist is not the first place you're going to go. You know, most of the jobs are not the greatest jobs in the world, or maybe they're full commission. They're realtors or insurance agents and that type of thing. You know, go to any big city and go scroll through what the ads are in the job section of Craigslist, and you will see probably 50% of the ads are going to be home-based businesses.
And Craigslist knows that. They're just not doing anything about it because I know they know that because they used to cancel people and disavow your ad if they found out that you were in a home-based business, but they must be greedy last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, they don't now, you know, I mean, there have been some people that have gotten into, you know, had their accounts put on hold or whatever, and I'm not really sure why, because it does seem like Craigslist is just accepting every single ad. They're not, you know, they're not canceling accounts or shutting down accounts or anything like that, at least that I've experienced, although there was one person on our team that had their account shut down. And I'm not really sure why, but like, don't put in your ad multi-level, you know, certain keywords, like, you know, don't put multi-level marketing or MLM or network marketing or home-based business, you know, things that are going to really trigger, because it is against Craigslist's terms and conditions to promote a home-based business in the job section, because it's not a job, let's face it. But, you know, yeah, they're definitely looking the other way.
But get creative because this is your business. And whether you purchase BizOp leads, which are a variety of them online, and I think in the back office, we refer you to 2, Lead Power, and then we have our own. You know, you could do YouTube ads and learn how to do YouTube ads, which are, you know, put YouTube videos up and start a blog, you know, pay-per-click. There's all kinds of things that you should experiment with. Solo email ads. I know, Steve, you advertise in a couple magazines, or used to, and there's postcard mailings. Warm market, a lot of people forget about because they don't want to talk to people because they're embarrassed or something. But hey, warm market for brand new people, especially if your funds are low on advertising, you got nothing to lose. Take 20 or 30 people, make a list, and either call them up or send them an email. And there's even a script that I wrote down here in the warm market. If you click here, it shows you how to do that. I signed up one person that was completely broke, and I said, I'm not going to sign you up unless you agree to go to your warm market so you can make some money for promotion. Put a list together of about 30 people, and he made one sale, but it was a $2,000 sale, you know. So there's all kinds of ways to generate leads, and we've got a variety of them in the back office.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add one thing to warm market, and I quite honestly, you know, not to be hypocritical, because I never did warm market prospecting, but then I think that ultimately you end up doing it. Like, warm market doesn't mean you're like your brother,
right.
You know, or your parents, you know. That's not what warm market is. It can just be somebody who's an acquaintance. And nowadays with social media, I mean, we all have friends on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you use, that, or LinkedIn, that you don't even know really who they are, right? You know, I mean, I know I have people on my accounts that I have no idea who they are, but they're my friends, right? So, I mean, you know, that's kind of, social media warm marketing is kind of, you know, it's the same thing now. So it's not something you need to be embarrassed about going to your, you know, going to your neighbor or something like that. But, you know, going to your some of your Facebook friends and, pick and choose, like, your sister's on your Facebook as a Facebook friend, maybe don't send them a message, but send it to, somebody who's a little bit more distant.
Yeah,
that's
and I
their warm
wouldn't
market.
post it anyway. Social media is not for that. I would send an instant message, if you have 750 people on your LinkedIn or your Facebook or whatever, you send them a personal private message. Hey, Joe, I hope you don't mind, but I found something pretty good. I see you're one of my Facebook friends. In case you're ever interested, you don't even have to send them a link, instant message me because I found something, blah. You might.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing too. Don't send a link initially.
No.
Let them ask for the link.
Let them
then
reach.
you're not coming off as a spammer, right?
And I have because I just moved here recently from California, been here over a little years, so I've got friends that are neighbors, and I would not go to them. However, the other day I was out with coffee, and I got a phone call from somebody that had a question about the business, and I couldn't help it. He was sitting next to me, so he heard a little bit of my end of the call. He goes, "What is that business that you got going?" I said, "You wouldn't be interested in it. It's like an e-commerce online thing that I do on the side because I like talking to people." And he goes, well, tell me about it. So he's been bugging me now for like 10 days about what it is, and I've been taking it away from him. And so I finally decided the next time I go out, or I might just text him and say, "Hey, Dave, I'm really," not Dave, his name is Corey. "Hey, Corey, I'm sorry it's been taking me so long to get back to you, but I don't really know if this is for you because you sell trusts for a living." They do trusts for people and they advertise on Facebook. But he's got that same entrepreneurial and that same thing where he sells these things. And so I'm just going to send him the link and let him watch it. And he may, who knows, it happens,
You never know. And, for a lot of people, for entrepreneurs, they want to see the money, right? It's not so much about exactly all the mechanics and everything like that. They just want to see if they can make money or not. And I mean, that's how I was. Like, we get our prospects and it's like, what are the products? What are this? Just see the money, like that's when I joined, I didn't know what the products were.
Yeah, some people don't even care what you're selling. They might go, "All right, so what do we sell? Bathtubs, memberships, landscape, what?" And then I go, "Oh, we sell memberships." "All right, good. That's good." And they don't want to know, they don't even care about the details,
Nope, it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter what the products were. It didn't matter. I didn't understand the intricacies of the one-up and how that worked and everything like that. I just knew, so if I make a sale, I got a good chance of making $3,500. So if I make 4 of them, I'm making $14,000. I'm in. I mean, that's what sold me, And I remember I was a stockbroker years and years and years ago. Wow, it really has been years. It's been a long time. Anyway, our top sales guy, he knew nothing about stocks, nothing. I don't even know if he owned any. But this guy could just talk people into buying. This is a little bit different, I guess, analogy, but he didn't care what it was that he was selling. He just like, the manager would be like, "Okay, here's the stock of the day," and he'd be on the phone selling it. He didn't know what they made, what the stock was all about. Didn't know, earnings, price to earnings ratios or anything like that. He just knew that he was told to sell it. He's going to sell it, and that's what's going to make him money that day. So, yeah, those are the people you want. People start analyzing and all this stuff, and they're scared, and they're probably not great prospects, honestly. As much as we want everybody to be a good prospect, they're just not. All right, we went a little bit longer than I was expecting. But
any questions, anybody?
Turned out pretty good.
Anybody have a question?
Enjoy.
I guess not.
All
right.
Well, have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the holiday. Stay safe and all that stuff. Don't eat too much, and we'll see you next Monday.
All right. Take care, everybody.